Hi, my name is Matt, and I'm going to talk to you about my journey across MPX Mountain. And before I start this, can I ask you guys to download this app, Crafter, or a QR code scanner app, because it'll be used later.
Well,
Okay, so during the second semester of my MPX mountain trip, we grew plants, we did many projects such as our family genetics project, we colored shoes and raised money for the Congo, and we also wrote an essay. And after all of this, we had the MPX Iron Chef cook-off. So first off, when I was going up MPX mountain, Uncle Greg stopped me and he said I need to learn how to grow plants out of a hydroponic system. So he said grow some plants that you know that you could use in your cook-off for a dish that you want to cook. So what I did was I grew grape tomatoes, palafuegos, bell peppers, basil, and lettuce. And we grew in two places, one being the grow bed, which is right here, and then the other being the hydroponic system. And this is our hydroponic system. And that's one of my group members. So some of the struggles I had during this task in order to move along in my journey on the mountain was a lot of our plants died. Actually, most of them died. Almost all of them died. And then after our plants died, it was because our system stopped working during a break, and our pump shut down, and it was kind of funny how only one group's system kept working. And after that, we were growing plants faster in the system than we would in the little grow bed, which is right back here. And so for the process, we first got our little seeds and we put them in foam blocks, and we put them inside of this tray, and we grew the seedlings in the tray for around 2 to 6 weeks for each plant. And when they got big enough, we transferred them into our system. So the second task during my journey that Uncle Greg assigned me was to make a disease infographic. And what we did was we made a disease infographic, family tree, and Punnett squares. And this was all part of our family history project. So this is my family tree, and if you can't see, this is my Punnett square right here. And it was pretty fun, yet hard to build these. And it took a lot of work to make the family tree, and it was also pretty cool because I got to learn about my ancestors, and I also got to learn like maybe a disease that runs in my family that I could eventually pick up. But luckily, there wasn't any disease that ran in my family except for all the people who smoked died from lung cancer. So no smoking. And then. So during this, I had a lot of struggles. Stop making your faces up there.
what?
So during this, I had a lot of struggles. And a lot of the tasks were very time consuming, especially the family tree, because I needed to ask a lot of people their blood type, when they were born, all of that kind of stuff. And also it was hard to do with less, especially in this infographic, because I couldn't just put a little bit of words, I had to keep the big blocks. And I thought that this was one of the better infographics, so I decided to share it with you. And also, it was really hard to show my information nicely, and it was very hard to gather the information. It took me a long time, and I ended up I couldn't find a lot of information on my family within the family tree. That was really hard. And then after this, we moved on to Congo shoes. And some of our group members thought that this idea would be cool, and Sensei H. Cal thought that that idea was good. And what she she allowed us to continue with this. So after this Congo shoe project, we colored shoes to raise money for the Congo, and everyone had a shoe to color. One person had 2 shoes to color, and these are the 2 shoes. And we raised $265 in the end, and we had shoes donated to us to color. And the shoes were really hard to color because the contour of the shoe, and we were using these paint pens that we never used before. And after we colored the shoe, one person used it at the skate park, and we presented our shoes in Weinberg, and that was pretty hard because we talked to a lot of people about how we colored the shoe, and we needed to go over it a lot, and it was pretty time consuming knowing that we had to do a lot of drafts on the paper to color the shoe to make sure it was a really good shoe. And then auctioning it was actually pretty good because we did raise $265, which is better than we started off with. So, one of my final tasks was essay time, because Sensei H. Cal, she walked us through how to write all of our essays, and this was very good because we didn't write an essay all year, and we needed to be refreshed on how to write one because we haven't wrote one in a long time. And it was really different compared to our project-based learning because this was more of like a standard-based type of thing, and the essay was a lot harder than I thought because I procrastinated for 1 or 2 days, and I ended up having to do a lot of work in the end. And it took me a long time to find all the information and get the notes written for this to have it be a good paper. And the research, thankfully we had a lot of databases to look through in order to have our research done good. And citating was really hard because we had to do mathematical documentation like right here and a couple other places, and we needed to make an easy bit on the way, but I didn't make it on the way, so then I ended up having to go find all my sources again in the end, and it took me a really long time to do this compared to a lot of other projects. So one of my final tasks on MPX 9 Mountain before I left it to go to MPX 10 Mountain was the MPX Iron Chef Cook-Off. So we had every team that was going up this mountain on this long journey, and we had a cook-off with Sensei H. Cal and Uncle Craig. And it was very cool because we had all of the live cameras at the cooking place, and we also had many struggles and problems within our group when we were cooking our dish. And this is our practice before the competition itself, and this is some of our basil that we do. And then, so I'm gonna show you guys the documentary cook-off, our draft. So, what happened?
So I'm gonna watch it.
We'll watch a little bit of it. You know, I'll skip to the next slide, okay? So, struggles during the cook-off. We had not much time to cook compared to how much time we usually had. So our group was rushing a lot, and we also had to answer judge questions, which we did not do very well with when we were practicing. We actually got a lot of really bad scores on the practice question answering. And we had to present our food, which was also hard, and we were presenting our food. It was right there, but you cannot see it. And that's me cooking some of the pine nuts. And it was pretty hard, yet it was also very fun. And so if you want to learn more about our team, which was called the Rostaponics, you can scan this QR code, but you don't need to. And then, thanks for coming and listening.
your PoL?
Sensei HVAC.
I came up with that NC line.
Yeah, she did come up with that.
Matt, what are you
Your
most
mom
proud
has
of?
video.
Yeah, I am most proud of. I was most proud of just completing the whole thing within the time allotted. I was most surprised with the time that I did this in because it was pretty hard for me to finish, and I thought that I did a pretty good job for how much time I had because I was also sick when it got assigned. But yeah.
Well, I thought you did an excellent job, Matt.
Oh.
Oh, Mike has a question.
Why did you make us download the QR code if you're not gonna show us?
Oh, please.
I showed you.